Oi, oi, Savaloy. It is time for Train, the final map to see who goes to the finals. Will it be Big? Will it be Astralis? I think Smuya will have a good game here on Train. So will Device. Device, again, he's a Shang Tsung. He's absorbed all the souls of the other snipers in the game and taken their best bits and left the trash in the trash. So, are we still confident with Astralis here?
Yeah, I think Train is one of those maps that Astralis hadn't played for a while, and then they played a lot and got really good, but no one knew, and tried picking on them for a while last year, but Astralis kept dominating. So I
Yeah.
expect more of the same.
What do you
Yeah,
think, Dan?
yeah. I don't think Big will win this one. I think it's going to be Train is a little bit easier, I think, to control some of the variables than Dust 2. I think Dust 2 can be a bit explosive at times, chaotic stuff like Tizzy and getting that 4K. Whereas on this map, I think we're going to see more consistency from Astralis. Also more urgency, because it's going to be boring if you're Astralis winning all the time. But if you have to win, they're going to win.
That's why you buy 3 AWPs on the T side.
Exactly.
When it gets a little boring, spice things up.
Where the M249s.
As they did on Nuke. I don't expect they'll do that on Train, but who knows? Maybe they will. I remember when someone bought a Negev by accident on Train. Anders was commentating. He bought a Negev by accident on the T side of Train. They ended up on upper B, got tagged a little bit, fell off the ladder and died. They created it. Was the most hilarious thing. Haven't seen it play like that in a while. Although we did see some wild things on Nuke yesterday with Complexity, but anyway. Here are the updated odds. Here are the odds for map 3. 3.75 for Big. They are a significant underdog coming into this one, but maybe, I mean, Sliggy believes, right? He believes. I think Big were always going to take it in 3, and here they are on the 3rd map. So I think they've ticked the boxes so far. They may come into this one with some confidence, despite being up against Astralis. I mean, you have to. You have to believe in yourself. Do you believe in yourself, Balins?
I do. I think what are Big's win conditions for Train though?
Smuya. Well, I wouldn't say Smuya. I think the likes of Smuya tabs, and I think they need a place to pop off, basically. I think you need multiple individual performances in different rounds.
I think they need to have a fairly consistently aggressive CT side, I think. But I think that's very hard to
take
do.
The game to Astralis, you mean?
That's the thing, because you got to just be disruptive to Astralis. You can't just sit there and just let them do stuff. But that's part of the challenge itself. Being aggressive is hard to do against a team that knows how to use that utility. So I mean, that's one of those things on this map, which is always really interesting. If you find a team that's playing a passive CT style and they just haven't figured out how to be aggressive, and they're playing against a team who either takes all that map control for free and just easily wins the game because of it, or that CT team that knows they have to be aggressive, but they don't know how to play the meta correctly in terms of what grenades to expect, what plays to expect, how to deal with them. So I don't know where Big will be, but I would expect Astralis to be in a pretty good spot. So it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
Are you confident, James, in yourself?
I am confident in myself, absolutely.
Are you confident?
You have to be to keep just trucking on in the elo hell that I've been doing for I don't know how long now. You have to be confident. You have
I like
to believe in
that
yourself.
you're working your way up.
Yeah.
It's a grind, but
I've got to do it.
I
I've got to show the people that it's possible, that you can do it, that there's a world out there where you can escape.
is it that you want to show them that there's a world that they can escape, or there's a world that you can escape?
Both. Okay. Both. I feel like I have to show them that I can escape. And then show them that I can escape, that they can escape. So
True.
Yeah, I got believers. I got believers.
I'm a believer.
The stream's been good recently.
Yeah.
The stream's been good. We had some really awesome plays from Prius. I have to say, I have to make him. I made my own highlights, right? But he's got some crazy. He's got like multiple 4Ks for us on Overpass. So Prius is like he's an undercover fragger. He's quite a fragger. Have you played with him before?
I have. He is quite good.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was surprised. Is Sliggy good? Maybe it's an observer
Sliggy's pretty
thing.
good. Sliggy's pretty good.
To be an observer, you have to be good then.
Confirm. The thing is, I think because Prius is quite a quiet personality, you just wouldn't expect such heavy output from him. But he's doing it, man. He's a mad fragger. He is absolutely a mad fragger, which is really awesome. So it's always great when he joins our lobbies. We will be starting the game very shortly, I do believe. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say, really.
Have you had any updates, James, as to what's going on?
I haven't. No. I don't know what's going on. We're at a match chat. Okay, nice. We're waiting for Big. I'm also waiting to see more gold FAMAS. I don't think I've seen anybody rocking a gold FAMAS yet.
Yeah.
In pro
Yeah,
matches.
I haven't seen it either.
It's awesome. It's awesome. People are like, oh, it's the FAMAS. Where's the AK? It's an awesome FAMAS.
Well, maybe you'll be able to work your way up to being a pro, then you can rock it.
I'm rocking it already.
Yeah, but once you're a pro, then a pro can rock it.
I'll rock it in the show match next time. It's a shame there's no show match at the Starladder Major.
Yeah, I even brought my
I was very
stuff
prepared.
for once. It's always the case where it's like, it gets sprung on you last second, no one's told you about that this is happening, and then it's like, oh, I don't have anything with me, this is great.
Yeah. My dream is to be at an event and there's like, you know, for some reason the team have 4 players and it's just like, James, we don't want to do it. You're the only person. I'm going to get in there, man. I'm going to smash.
Screw that contractual obligation that you have to commentate the event. You know? It's like
absolutely, get me on the servers. Get me on the servers.
We were looking for a few. I think it was a Copenhagen event last year, and that's when Golden initially fell sick, and I ended up playing. But before I ended up playing, we went through a list of players, local to Denmark, local to can you fly out. We were just thinking about a bunch of options, and then the team was like, "Dude, just play." I'm like, "All right, fine."
Where was my name on this list? I'm always on planes.
If you were there, it would have been.
I'm ready. I'm ready. It might be low on the list.
We should have called you to fly out.
I would fly, man.
London, Denmark, how far is that?
I don't care.
It's really
I'll
close.
go.
2 hours?
I don't need no warning. I'm always on planes. It's fine. I live for it.
You were probably on a plane.
I probably was on the plane, yeah, smashing that vodka. They call me Bardy J on the planes. I'm lighting it up.
Bardy J or Party J?
Bardy J. Bardy J is
J.
Party J. Yeah. Bardoff on the plane is action. Yeah.
And I looked up the name Bardoff the other day. It's like a strong name.
It is a strong name.
I forgot what the context was. I googled it though.
What, the meaning of it?
Yeah.
Axe-wielding wolf is a common one.
Perfect for your CS playstyle.
Dan's mother often... yeah, it is, actually. I never thought about that, but it absolutely is. I am the most decorated knifer in Counter-Strike history, I have to be.
So here you go. Bardolph with PH or Bardolph with DF is a surname and Middle English personal name. It originates from the continental Germanic Bartholf or Bardwolf, from the Bard meaning axe and wolf meaning wolf, via the Old French Bardolph. And then the first thing people ask is, why is Bardolph hanged?
Yeah, there was one that was hung, drawn and quartered.
He is sentenced to punishment by death by hanging in a focal point of Henry V. King Henry, despite being friends with Bardolph in his youth, remorselessly agrees to his punishment. Remorselessly agrees to his
There was a he tried to usurp the king, and their little.
Well, you know they say, James,
sojourn didn't work. So
if you come at the king, you best not miss.
Yeah, they absolutely missed. So
he runs in the family.
he tried to go.
Goes deep.
He tried to be a roadman with some other guy, and it didn't work, and they got hung, drawn and quartered. So I think his head was displayed on a spike somewhere. Maybe inspired some modern times. So there we go. Maybe I should get some kind of like axe pendant, or wolf pendant, or axe wolf pendant, or an axe pendant and a wolf pendant. Anyway, Counter-Strike is happening. If Big could win this pistol on a T-sided train, that would be a fantastic start.
That would be amazing. Looks like it's gonna be a fake towards inner.
Well, it's worked out, hasn't it? Creeks are coming, regardless of what happens here now, but Xantares is pressing. He's pressing, he's quick. That Glock, he's just going to eat him up. He has just eaten all of Astralis with that Glock. James.
He's harvested the organs.
Glocks are pretty ridiculous. Couldn't do that with USP.
Kidneys for sale. You could do that with USP. Didn't Device do that at the major?
Well, what I'm saying
on
is,
train.
what Xantares was doing was he was just spraying it like it's Julies from 1.6.
Was it USP or was it a Glock? I forget what side he was on.
USP.
USP, yeah. There we go.
But my point is that with the USP, it's a higher skill ceiling to accomplish that.
You know what's crazy about that round is...
That's okay.
Zipix died at inner. That's happened about 5 times in his career, I think. So it's not going to happen much this game.
It's fair enough. I wonder... It was interesting because when we would have like Old Virtus Pro, you'd have someone like Taz who's playing in a, and it's like he's literally been doing this since the beginning of 1.6. So and so you wonder, like, you know, who at this point has the most hours in a position of the professional team, you know, teams that are active.
I have about 9,300 hours in CS now.
Wow.
Wow.
I looked at mine recently, actually. I think it was less. It was less than 3,000.
Yeah, but you play lots of games.
Yeah, I've played a lot of games.
I play one game. Unless I'm on a plane, then it's Bejeweled.
I haven't played much in the last 5 years, though.
Where did we fly? Was it Singapore? I played Bejeweled on the plane for 12 hours non-stop. They actually have like a, I almost want to call it career mode, where you're just going through like this maze and every stop is just like 25 minutes of Bejeweled.
It looked like none of the levels are challenging as well. It's just like these are just
It's
levels
just
you
a
must
grind,
complete.
yeah. It's just a grind.
And,
It's like Korok Seeds and Zelda. It's like just taking ages to do some nonsense.
and instead of like using like something responsive, you're using like this terrible gamepad. Anyway, push will
Wow,
come in.
everyone
and
is low. So many
Yeah.
people low.
It's going really well, isn't it? They've not even gotten to a plant yet, and they just have 3 left, and the health is weak. It's a CT in the 4th position. Xantares is trying to find him there. Around side, Ali, hello. And this is a struggle. This time is a problem too. Oh my.
Okay then.
Magisk gets
Well,
himself 3 there.
that is a turnaround that we
Yeah.
were not expecting. We obviously, by our conversation, we were not expecting anything close to that to happen.
Yeah, I mean they went triple scouts and they really made them sing.
On the B bomb sites as well.
I did not catch that second kill. Let's have a look again. Ooh,
Wow.
No scope. The scout is really good at no scoping. It always has been.
it's a great weapon.
They kept holding these pixel angles and kept getting the tag. So it was, by the time they actually even went in, I think two or three people were low on the T side.
I've given that example before when Astralis were on Eco or Force Bind, but mainly with Deagles on train specifically. They're very good at trying to make a team engage them at angles where the correction of your aim is minimal because of the tight channel. And if you engage them in those angles, you're going to be in trouble. A very easy hold for Astralis in round number 3, and things quickly turn in their favour. Device with an AK-47 on the T side. Could be worse, though, for Big in that respect. Big not really in a position to spend anything. We speak about how... Oh, by the way, I have to correct myself. On Dust 2, I said that you could spray through the door, the box, sorry, in CT Spawn. You can't. You could in the old Dust 2, but in this one you can't. The only thing that goes through it is the AWP at the minimum. Probably the revolver as well. Get a revolver. Buy a revolver.
Spray through the what?
The box in CT Spawn.
Oh, you can't.
You
oh,
can't.
I thought you could.
Old Dust 2 you can.
The old cost, yeah.
New Dust 2 you cannot, but with an AWP or a revolver you can.
Oh, that's actually very interesting.
Revolver. Wow.
Maybe it's time to bring out a revolver.
Yeah, Ali was right all along.
Ooh, it's a bit messy there for Astralis with Dupree at least going for the backstab. Got all the info. So that's very nice. Ooh. It's a nice smoke.
Works both ways though. I like that. Tizian knows something is dodgy. This is not a smoke you could really mess up and have in that position unless it was deliberate. He realizes that there are some shenanigans at play. They will slowly creep away towards A.
And also just like the match of people sitting in smokes, look, as well.
Magisk has gone through Ivy with the scout and is looking towards main. I don't know that he would see people going towards main in this angle. I haven't really tested it properly. But obviously, if they came towards Ivy, he would most certainly see them. But with the clock starting to run low, he will rotate, it seems.
Yeah, Astralis look like they're in too strong of a position to deal with Glaive behind the fresh smoke with the UMP. And they have to go through it. So they have a triple peak set up, so maybe they are going to wait it out. Oh no, they run through it just as Glaive leaves the position. They hear it running. But it's going to work out anyway. He gets all headshots with the UMP. That's pretty nice.
Astralis actually does this thing a lot where if they're up numbers, they'll have multiple people pushing their spots at the same time so that even if one person dies, someone else will get a really good flank going. And that round, Dupree had a pretty kind of messy flank from ladder, but even though he died, Magic ends up pushing Ivy. I think they had some info mid as well. Obviously, they had info inner from just the way the round played out. So at that point, you know, they kind of know exactly where the T's are going to hit. And they do that kind of info play a lot.
Knowledge is power. Oh, lots of damage to the utility here. D3 close to the smoke is so favorable. Gets 2 off the spray. Xantares has made his way forward with a measly 4 HP. And you know what? Dupree's going to take him down with a headshot as well. Similar treatment for everybody. Dupree believes in equal opportunity headshots. And it's not looking good here for Big. At the very least, they did get 2 kills, so there is some space on the map. But only a single smoke to work with in terms of the utility game, and here comes a push. Pushing everything. This is actually such a huge play for Astralis. They're going to get so much info. Oh, that's a lot of damage. No kill though. But Astralis can afford for that to happen. Big cannot.
40 seconds remain. Glaive coming in from the back. Smoke has been deployed. Smia considering where the CTs may defend from. They don't have control of Ivy, which is a problem to plant the bomb. And now Glaive runs distraction from main. Smia, unsure as to where to plant, will quickly rotate towards the B bomb site. He's made the right play. He's made the right choice. Son, you've made the right choice. Astralis creeping. Time is low. They have to realize now. Glaive goes up the ladder. Zipex heads towards connector. Zipex has a smoke. Smia will fall back and try and give himself some cover, a place to fight from. Both CTs have defuse kits. They can go slow, not give the sound cues up, not telegraph their intentions, their positions. Smia sees nothing. Yeah, he's got to be nervous. Looks up, he'll just about spot Glaive. Zipex doesn't really have an angle to go for a quick engagement, but what is he able to do? Swinging wide on Smia, but Smia will deliver that second kill as well. 3 in total, and Big are back on the scoreboard.
It's a big clutch for Smia. This was pretty epic from Dupree. He nails 3 players there, and Smia, by the skin of his teeth, going to win this one.
Hindsight is 2020, but you know, Device pushed inner with an op and died, and they lost a round because they gave up inner. The info inner, I should say. So it's a little bit of a mistake from him, I think, that round.
Well, it's time to stabilize. Big have opted for 2 Mag 10s, so maybe they're thinking inner, and Device will get another go of it. This is really scary because they can be in trade positions. But that's what he was playing for. Can he get out there in time? Just about. Can't really chase him at this point. He's done a good job falling back.
Nice.
Oh my god, that's so painful.
100 plus.
That's so sick.
Nades come in from Big, multiple grenades. A lot of information for Astralis. Dupree's by the ladder, so rotation is very unlikely at this point. Device will creep behind that smoke grenade just as the T's will. Molly's back train. Device looks to his left shot from his right-hand side. Zipex falling back for the retake. Xantares with 2, and with him falling, the numbers are even for a second, but next of a multi-frag leaves Dupree alone. They continue to push, and Dupree's just waiting for that rotation. Very back and forth on the B bomb site in a matter of seconds. But Big, it seems, have the master stroke with multi-frags from Nex and from Xantares. And the score's going to be tied. Again, both these teams fighting for a place. This map will tell us which of these teams makes their way to Arlington, Texas for the finals. ECS.FACEIT.com if you want to get yourself some tickets. Would be a great result for Big.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really run into a more difficult team to qualify, so...
Some uncharacteristic mistakes, I think, from Astralis there. Devices up on upper, looking towards sidewalk for a while, but then I guess there were some comms issues between what Zipex actually had for him and he turns back around upper and gets flanked from the side, kind of. So I think those kinds of things won't keep happening. I think they just need to clean up their comms a little bit, play normal, and don't panic yet. It's 3-3, not the end of the world.
Don't panic, bring a towel. Got ourselves one rifle for Dupree, of course, that he was able to save, and then we'll see how far that really goes. Where is he at? He's at brown train. What color is it? Is this peach, orange? What color is this to you? Brown? Kind of brown.
Red?
Red. Because like if you have the digital vibrance up, no.
Yeah.
Looks orangey.
Definitely looks like it looks like copperish, but we do call it a red trend.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Next swings. He sees one, but he doesn't see the one who's behind him. Device through or around the smoke, not sure which one, but if it works, it works. Astralis with 6 HP, hard for him to duel. He could lose an AK in a very important position. This looks like Carnage versus mostly USPs. Usual engagement so far. Tabson and Xantares are low, but Tizian has an angle on the B bomb site. Can't deal with Zipex. 2 of the remaining 3 players are low. Dupree is still creeping with M4A4. This is very dangerous territory for Big. This round is compulsory for them to win, but that might not be the case by the end of it. Trying to identify where Astralis are. 2 players now with M4A4s for Astralis, Zipex and Dupree. The remaining 2 bomb planted back trains. As much cover as possible. Dupree creeps up the ladder, spots Tabson. There goes one. Zipex is there by ladder room. Looking for a peek. Convinced somebody's an Ivy. Maybe he saw him slightly earlier. There's a pop flash for Dupree to clear the hell position. Zipex moves towards Connector now. Or towards the bomb site. They know where one is, but can they find the angles? Surely it's time for Dupree to save now. That was a scary one, though.
Yep, it really was. It's funny sometimes because, as you say, they just have USPs, praise over the Eagle, USPs in the M4. It's like, but it feels like there's so much spinning around, so much chaos, people getting tagged up. Like, where's it all coming from? It's so strange. But the next buy is in. Astralis need this to go their way, but you know, otherwise they are going to have a Big that are starting to take some serious rounds on this half. And maybe we'll get a switch up in terms of pacing from Astralis or decision making. Play more standards. See if Big will give away some advantages, but no, just fast play from Smooya. The pacing not expected by Dupree. Pace catches him off guard, and that's an opening kill. And also, it's a double whammy because you as Big can pretty much understand that position's clear at the early timing of the round as well. Glaive will take that position back. Exchange of grenades. And 1 minute left. Big have that 5v4 off the default. Thanks to Smooya. Astralis' utility beginning to run lower and lower.
Right then, what's the play for Big? They've got the man advantage. They're focused on the A bomb site. They've got Tizian above the ladder. They've got Nex outside Ivy. The clock is running down. They're not through any choke points just yet. Nex will run distraction in that Ivy position. Astralis don't know how many players there could be there. There are 2 flashes on the 4 remaining players. Magisk is creeping towards Ivy. Nex is pretty deep. In the meantime, they're creeping through main. The bomb's still outside main with 20 seconds on the clock. Smokes are up, and Glaive has an angle on 2. And there's a 2-man spray down. The bomb at this point may never make it into the site. Tizian down the ladder, Smooya in main. 13 seconds remain, and this one wasn't the one for Big, it seems. Smooya still peeking, but what can he really do at this point but risk losing the AWP in a situation where they don't really have any money, Big?
I think it's a common thing that a lot of up-and-coming teams do too on an outside split. They'll have the solo Ivy guy walk up first, but you really don't have any trade potential at all, unless you're trying to lurk out mid at the same time. And here, Big tried to go up, the Ivy guy dies, now all they have to worry about is mid and top. So it makes the split a lot easier to defend in this case. So that's some tips out for you guys. If you're trying to split, and wherever you have less people, maybe let that guy go a little bit more delayed, be methodical, flank once other people take contact. Would have worked out a lot better for Big.
Taking a
Four.
timeout.
Yeah, it's a ropey situation for them now. Their loss bonus goes down. There's an AWP on the floor, as you can see. So what will they choose to do? Smear's got some grenades. Apart from that, there's not a lot going on for Big. There's a chance for Astralis to build some rounds to get back into the lead. Now we'll see the intentions. Looks like Big are going to buy around these rifles. It's maybe a might as well situation for them with minimal loss bonus. Made towards Sandwich from Zantares. One towards E-Box perhaps from Smuya. That's a nice opening kill from Smuya. Not a rifle they can retrieve for the time being, however. Astralis creeping, Smear peeking, getting swatted. And then there's just the AK-47. Not just, but they have the numbers. They've got grenades. They could throw a grenade towards connector. That's what they want to do, but they may try to play the long game and dry out the utility of Astralis and then try to make a play. Connector smoke, perhaps. Maybe trying to... Ah, so when it goes over the wall. The alternative one that you don't see from the B bomb site, they make the face towards A. Zantara is the first one to get taken out. That's a nice flick from Magis with the AWP. So be careful from Ladder. Glaive's been Molotovs off for the time being. Tabson down to 11 HP. Glaive must be careful. Can't creep through the smoke for free. Deagle and AK. Tizian looking for something. Trying to bait a reaction from T-Con, it seems. Tizian out now. Can't quite make a fatal connection. And Tabson's in a 1 versus 1 all of a sudden. He was close. Glaive down to 11 HP. So much damage for Big. Way more than you expected. But it will be a round win for Astralis.
That was super close. Definitely a lot closer than it should have been. It's going to be interesting in the economy game. If Astralis has another clean round, I think this half might run away from Big. At the same time, if looks like Big is buying up. So far they have blocks and utility. Okay, so this should be a relatively clean round. Hopefully build some money for Astralis and see if they can roll.
Big flashbang, lots of information, but can they find the kills? Astralis, they've got to move back at the same time. The bomb's been caught and Device is delivering down to the USP. Tizzy down to 20, a blind shot from Device. And they lose no one. A 4K from Device in a real awkward position. Flashbangs really helps in that situation, and that's a great round for Astralis to build some cash, much needed. And Big are essentially going into a force buy here. See a lack of grenades on most of the players. Maybe the flashes and smokes will be enough.
I wonder if Big will try to do something with the success they've had at inner. Maybe some kind of inner hit late or some kind of fake where they pull extra guys towards inner and then actually go outside. That's definitely where they've had the most success, besides the weird late round, you know, heroic Creek plays that they're getting close to winning outside but never actually won. So should be interesting to see how they end this round here.
That was a close one. Smear creating some presence down Ivy. That smoke isn't ideal. There's a huge gap in that. Probably not the one who normally throws it. Off the cuff. Santara's looking for something in main. Oh. Well, sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes it'd be that way. I don't know what Nex is doing there. Maybe just scoping to show his presence, and Device will be invited to the dinner party, but his plate will be taken away. 40 seconds on the clock. 3 guys in Ivy for Big, and it's the bomb which is creeping up first. Taps in to show it, and he won't lose it. But what does he do now? Instant response, rotation back into A from Astralis, who had 2 plays towards B. Zipex going towards CT, but slowing down as not too many Qs from Big just yet. Madness with a fast one bomb spotted again. More rotation now. Dupree waiting in ladder room as the smoke starts to disappear. 19 seconds for the bomb to get planted. Madness trying to hide in plain sight. That's alright, let's take him out. Dupree to trade and take out next as well. No bomb plant for Big in round number 11. Astralis survived with 2 expensive rounds, but successful rounds.
It's much better pacing from Astralis on the flanks, waiting for the right time to make plays here. Dupree kind of won them the round here by going out of the ladder smoke at the right time. So yeah, they gave up a couple of rounds early in the half, kind of just getting a little bit lazy on the flanks, a little too over aggressive. So it's good to see they're back to their fundamentals.
Go for strength to strength, and the AWPs will definitely be a thing of comfort, point of comfort for the Astralis side. Should be difficult for Big to really get much going here. They've got a couple, well, actually 3 flashes and 2 smokes, so they have some utility to try to get towards the bomb sites. The issue though is that Astralis are actually playing too close to B, so you know if they try to throw a smoke to block off vision from connector, well, Astralis are fairly committed to stopping this bomb plant altogether. Tag from device, follow up HE, not going to do too much. Big decide not to burst off of the peak. Oh my god.
Meaty.
That hurt.
Yeah.
That nade's done so much damage pretty consistently. I had to learn that one.
1 minute on the clock. A bomb plant would be fantastic. A little jiggle. Device repositioned. He sees multiple targets. He has support from Glaive. Glaive is the personification of an airstrike in Counter-Strike. Won't be able to find any headshots. And we're running out of rounds for Big now in this first half. I'm sure with 3 rounds ahead of them, they won't be satisfied with 4. A goodbye is coming. Tac timeout before the proceedings begin. Astralis more or less have a full buy in the hole. So they're good for 2 of these 3 rounds worst case scenario. It won't be easy for Big to claw some rounds back despite their loss bonus.
Astralis seems pretty comfortable just kind of giving up Ivy late round, and Big was having success inner as well, so something maybe they can try is maybe an inner split through Ivy. Because Astralis kind of falls back towards back 6, mid bomb. They're watching the old bomb lane from mid bomb and things like that, so could be a nice way for them to kind of surprise Astralis here.
Next attempt. Smokes outside, so we're looking for the peaks. Astralis not going to give anything away. 3 towards E-box actually. Pretty aggressive from Astralis right here. Oh my. 2 picks, 1 from the Molotov. Not ideal. Tizian doesn't even have enough time to get the bullets off to get the kills. It's down to Xantares. Able to take a headshot towards Ivy. Oh, another one offered up through the sandwich smoke. And now that gets complicated. Dupree cannot frag there. It's up to Zipex now against Nex, who is weak. There he finds him. Now it is Xantares. Flash over the top here. Oh, committed with it, but Xantares is ready for the ting. 3 kills from him. What a save from Xantares.
Yeah, really important. Xantares has some impact frags this week. But again, Astralis have the money to buy for the next round. Well, that's an important 5th round for Big, with the shadow of the second half looming large. There we go. All the M4s are out for Astralis. Pretty good grenades as well. Tizian will be on a Mac 10, but everybody has a helmet. That might be out of necessity. Only 1 player survived for Big, and that's not too ideal for them. Not through any choke points just yet. Will there be a play into main, though, from the CTs? There's an Ivy smoke, I think. Not sure if that was from main or from above ladder. Both are possible. Lots of information baiting coming from Big on B ramp. 180 jumps. They've got the utility out early, and Tabson's been waiting. There are a few angles to hold, and this time he holds the right one, and Dupree gets taken out.
Xantares. The Grim Reaper. Just scything off people's heads. And prepared to get that burst from ladder room. Bomb's in there as well. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. Towards inner. Really looking for a push from Astralis, who are giving them nothing right now. Krieg in your face.
Time's running low, and maybe Astralis have to gamble on something, but it might not be given the opportunity. 3 players around E-Box, made 2 now with a frag from Zipex, but he will fall, leaving Magisk alone. And now the money is ropey for the last round, and Big are threatening 7 as they make their way to 6. Drying out Astralis in these rounds. Moving into position to abuse their numbers, and they'll find success. Maybe an upgrade for Tizian on the floor somewhere. 7 rounds would be a great result for Big, I think.
Oh yeah. It's definitely very competitive at that point, because all then that is required is they win that pistol and get, convert the next 2 rounds. They've built up an economy on their CT side, and then all of a sudden it's extremely scary. So Astralis need to get something to give them some comfort going into that pistol. And here is the last chance, but they have no economy, so they are going to be screwed for a buy. It's kind of crazy because you can really see how the Kriegs have transformed Train. When did we get the Krieg abolishment? Krieg prohibition.
Maybe when we can draw on the map. Last round of the first half, and Astralis' buy is not as bad as I might have thought. Dupree will be quickly into the ladder position. Oh, and Glaive is starting to push as well. He's been waiting for, though. Oh, that's quite the flick. Not an easy play to make up there. And there's no response. An exchange of grenades. Tizian gets by far the worst of it. Now, are Big going to start to get shaky after a play like that from Astralis? Magisk could have gone out, but he can't out-duel next with the Krieg. Device is here, as is Glaive. Flashbangs will be out. Support for Glaive if he needs it. Not sure what's behind the smoke, though. Xantares gets ding-dong from Device, and Smooya's left with 9 HP. So it will be 9 at half-time for Astralis. It was looking good for 7 from Big, but they'll be denied. Is 6 rounds enough from their T side? We shall find out after the break.
Up your game. 128-tick servers for the smoothest, most responsive gaming experience ever. Ensure you game seamlessly with our state-of-the-art FACEIT anti-cheat. Track your progress with advanced stats within your community, country, or region. This is the true ranked experience. Sign up now at FACEIT.com.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Big will start the CT side with 6 rounds on the board. Not too shabby at all, and there is a pistol round to be won. Device lining up a jump throw smoke grenade. Let's see where that might be headed. Smokes towards the A side. It's a nice smoke for Connector. And then there's the one for Ivy as well. They've obscured some positions. There's a Boostmere looking for the pops, and he will pop Device. 4 players now trying Swarm. There are flashes. They're getting absolutely deleted. Glaive versus 5. Smear and Nex are threatening to get themselves some cheap helmets. Looks like Glaive has been spotted now. Got a 1 versus 1 of Tizian. Indeed, Smear and Nex will get the cheap helmets. And there we go. That's a much needed pistol round. Once again, big win, both pistols. I believe they did that on the previous map as well. So maybe this bodes well for them.
They've won, I think. They won at least the last 4 pistols. I don't know about the first nuke. Did they win? They must have won at least a pistol on nuke. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't think they did win a pistol on nuke. I think they lost both pistols on nuke.
Yeah.
So they've won at least 4 of the 6 pistols now. So I mean, this is what we were talking about. This makes things scary for Astralis. Unless Astralis can find a way to throw a wrench into the works. Maybe they need something more substantial than a wrench. An elephant. Doing the classic thing of just playing it really slow with the blocks, trying to deplete all the utility for Big, and it's working. Big are actually departing with all of their utility. They don't need to, but they are. That's economic damage.
Checking the ridge.
You're a ridge, James.
Played against some FPLC players on train, and I smoked up there on CT side pistol. Hopped on the ridge, they ran down, and I knifed 2 of them in the pistol round. While Blob was commentating the match because it was a bit of a cut. Well then, the Astralis have a chance to plant the bomb. They have got themselves some bonus money. Creek party cometh.
I love the ragdoll sometimes. I want more from it. It provides so much comedy.
Me with the Ebola knife. Good to let your sniper defuse the bomb, get that bonus money. 2 from 2 for Big. And here comes the Creek party with plenty of grenades. Get your party hats on, boys and girls. 4 monocles on deck.
I say, ain't no party like a Creek party.
Well done, Dad.
Yeah. Scouts on tabs and though. And the IV pressure is coming in from Astralis, and Big wants to deny that. Got to set up with the MP9 close. Will they try to smoke that? There's the pop flash of Spear. He's going to go deep with the peak with the MP9, and the flash is only good for so long, and Spear doesn't get the kill in the requisite time, and that's going to be a failure for Big. But maybe they can have success on B, but it will be difficult. It's just Tizian here, although we've seen some great stuff from him.
Oh, a nasty surprise.
Yeah.
He's seen 2 of the 3 players, I believe, and look how they push through the bomb site, not standing all around the bomb plant, but taking the entire train yard, which makes it a hell of a lot harder to retake the site. Dupree with an off angle. As soon as Antares looks upper, Dupree appears from lower. That's what you call a good off angle.
I wonder if Astralis double molly to connector on purpose, because sometimes you'll run through that molly and just take like a couple ticks, but obviously the double molly means double the ticks that you'll take, and so you'll take significantly more damage. Do you think there's much application to double mollies, Bevins?
I think if you pair it with like a, it's better. I would rather pair a molly with a nade. Throw a nade where they are, and then molly as well, so that's take damage. I don't usually see double mollies too often. That's a lot of money to. What if he's not there?
It's true. Oh, he was actually full blind too.
Everybody was.
I didn't realize he was full blind.
They were all blind. Astralis will make it to double figures first. This is a very important round for Big, because if they lose this, they're gonna be broke. So we've got the smoke towards Ivy, I do believe, bouncing through the sides, as you can see. Need to learn that one. So Torres is able to escape back to Sandwich. Very nice. Avangard very fond of having a CT in this position as well, as many teams are. Green involved, and Torres going back. He thought he was finished, but he's not. Tabson will clean up, pick up where he left off. 3 versus 1 now. Magisk alone. They don't know where he is. Ooh, he's just behind Tabson's movement there. And that's an important ninth round for Big. Very, very key they won that. They survived with 3 players, which is more than you could ask for. In a war of attrition like that, got to be happy with that. Let's put the money for Astralis in a weird spot. Eco territory for them. And you've got to... I don't know, if you're an Astralis fan, I would start to get concerned here. Again, this half will determine who goes to land. Bigger on a CT side of train. They got money, Smooth has an orb, it's early. These are all important factors.
Yeah. Yeah, Big, very capable on this map, and they've moved into the easier half. That's for sure. Just about the damage. Device has a lot of default skins just with the Astralis stickers on them.
This must be a new thing.
Yeah.
I know he has an orc with the Dignitas Hollow on. He's an appreciator of the Dignitas Hollow. Long gone now. They're an owl now. Jiggle from Zipex, there's not much to be done. I don't think a bomb plant is happening. The bomb's just been lost. Dupree spotted in the higher ground. Looking for a 1 versus 1. Jiggling of a Deagle, and there is nothing to be had. Big will tie the score. A pair of 10s. A pair of 10s cost me a spot in the World Series of Poker Europe once. So that was a big stack. Second biggest stack shoved on me with ace-9.
You almost made it.
Even though I should fold to avoid variance, I was offended by his outrageous play to stop me from bullying the table, so I called and he hit an ace on the river, which crippled me.
Yikes.
I was furious. Both teams on the buy once again. Grenades raining into Astralis, so this seems to be part of their current default. This grenade execute. Look at the aggression towards main. Are Astralis ready for it? They are 1 up in that exchange. HE towards main will do some good damage. Magisk holding on for dear life. Now how will things proceed? Will they commit to this? We've got Magisk by the Olaf Meister position. Maybe expendable at this point with 8 HP. Tabson spotted on the alternative angle of the AWP. They don't have much more info than that. With only 3 players, Magisk will feel confident to peek. No one around Ivy for the time being, but for Glaive. Looking for 2 now is Magisk. Tabson will get taken out, footsteps heard, grenades deployed, and Smia can't pull his gun out in time. This is or it could be a pivotal round for Big and Astralis. He's sitting on the B-bomb site, not much more for him to do.
Kind of want to get rid of this creek that he has. It's kind of insane how good the creeks are on the CT side. This map as well was a map that was completely dominated by the Orgs. And I'm actually surprised we don't see CT size using the Org more on this map. You know, still very good since enough, you know.
Yeah, there are a couple maps that I think it's still super viable. This being one of them. I think Overpass actually around 8 is pretty good. Dust 2, obviously there's some range there.
Yeah, especially those maps which, you know, you have those headshot, like a prevalent amount of headshot angles. Like there are certain positions where, you know, let's say if you're a CT on a Mirage, and you know back in the Org meta, like fighting T's coming into connector didn't feel nearly as bad, even though they have their headshot position. It suddenly changed the dynamic of how confident you were in that spot, and
yeah, and Ence's major run in January was largely, not largely, but a lot of it had to do with all the kills they were getting on Mirage with the Nog.
They were abusers. Man, I haven't really seen Ence's name much of late. Astralis. They need to win some consecutive rounds. It's a big moment for them. They could get to that 12-10 scoreline. They could wipe out the money for big, get to 13-10. This is a really big round for them. And likewise big. Pretty much the same situation for them.
Yeah, behind once again are big. Minute 32. Oh, Glaive's naded himself to 70. But maybe it's worth it for the map control. Expecting a CT to exit with a grenade like that coming, perhaps. Calculated risk, lots of scoping. Big starting to wonder about that ladder position. Glaive will pop out and swing on next. A smoke to create some space to run distraction. Maybe to invite some counter grenades, but there aren't many to be had. And with that action in ladder, Astralis will creep up an Ivy and just make things, or try to make things worse for big.
Oh, see, look, that's just understanding the angle. The left eye peak where he's really close to the door.
Where's the flash?
Versus Glaive, who's really far back on the right eye angle. That is extremely unfavorable for Xantares.
Well, surely Tabson could have thrown the flash for him.
Yeah, an angle like that, if you're suspicious, you have to flash that because it's so disadvantageous, and Tabson's just caught in no man's land. At that point as well, you know, you lose that player in pop, you kind of have to get off those positions. You don't have any coverage from a lot of spots suddenly. And Astralis are looking like a shoo-in for this one. It's save territory for big. Unfortunately for them, sorry to say. They shouldn't really have a chance in this round now. That said, Tizian, I don't know how he won that battle. That's a... Oh, why, you know. I guess I have some idea, but we'll see if he can do some more damage here. Well, there you go. That accuracy on that Krieg, certainly very useful. Now it's a 2v2. But still, hardest, probably the hardest side to retake after the T's have had time to set up. In all of the map pool.
About the right eye peaks, though, I think if you do want to clear an angle and you're coming in from the left, or coming in with a left eye peak, you gotta throw some jiggles, because
to bait the shots. And
yeah,
yeah,
they'll see more of you, they'll get curious, and then you'll get some info.
So this has now become really dangerous for big after that round. It's a strong situation for Astralis. These rounds have been really slow and methodical, although some of them have been mad explosive. Okay, we have an AWP on Tabson, an AWP on Smuya. The money's more or less kept together otherwise. Now the question is, how do they try and get an early pick? Will there be a boost on the train? When I think it's Dupree who sometimes sits in those trains, and sometimes he gets double or triple naded in that position. That won't happen on this particular round from Astralis. Device looking for the peaks. Get that angle onto red train from the top of the... What are those crate things called? I forgot. Pallet.
Yeah.
It's a common angle to look at the beginning. Big responding on A. Astralis starting to scream in. Well, there's half the information. Smuya gets an opening kill. Hard to trade that one. Some jiggling from Zipek. So many targets up in the open is Glaive, and this is falling to pieces for Astralis. 3 versus 5 is not ideal. Those guns can't be retrieved anytime soon, but what do they have for area control? Dupree has a smoke. He could smoke off the Ivy position. He will do exactly that. That's really important to get a bomb plant, but there are still more boosts. Does he hear the footsteps? Doesn't look like he has. Maybe realizing now he's got to stay really close. Another boost frag, and still Astralis have no response. 4 kills. They're going to pick up so many rifles. Big are supposed to be in a lot of trouble, but they are now at great advantage.
One v5. No bomb, no time. Dupree, can he even survive? Do you even want to survive? I guess he does at this point.
Oh, he was baited by one orb and ran into the other one.
Well, their money's together at least. Nice defense from Big. Working those AWPs to perfection. It's pretty cool to like play the AWP angles like that. You don't usually ever see kills in that fashion into the A-bomb site on the CTs.
I think that's gonna be started. It's gonna be used a lot now. Now that people have seen that, it's really cool. You can just play kind of back passive against like an A hit because you can always see over that smoke. So I think we're gonna see a lot more of that now.
Spots the push inside. Shouldn't be too much to accomplish here for Astralis. Next, trying to prevent the bomb from going down, and it looks like it will. Glaive getting taken out there will seal the deal. Device lurking around. Try to jump into position.
What a turnaround. This feels really tense.
Yeah, it is really tense. Timeout time. They got to win this round. What would you like to see them do, Valens? You know, have you seen any particular weaknesses for Big?
I think they keep getting that first pick outside on their patented kind of outside strat where they throw some stuff. One guy goes hell, and then the rest of Astralis will come out later. I think they need to do a little bit better job pushing that opera off. Maybe try some kind of side bomb smoke or something like that. And they haven't even really tried working Ivy and inner completely either. So they definitely have some options. So they've had some good options getting mid and pop so far. They're pretty much getting those two areas anytime they want. But I think Big is comfortable just giving it up. They're just nading them, mauling them, and playing passive outside. So they're going to have to rethink their strategy.
See if that comes to fruition.
He's in with a forward play. That flashbang really works out. It doesn't go too far though. I won't choose the fallback either. Glaive with a grenade in his hand. Not expect him to just be standing their ground like that. An early 5 versus 4 for Big. And that smoke is a real problem. CT's can lurk behind it. It's really annoying to deal with, but Defias brazenly walks past. That is a huge start to bit for Big. Nobody towards A for Astralis. 4 versus 2 on the B bomb site. They see next up back trains, a flashbang makes things awkward. Where's the trade for Astralis? There's the first one, and here comes the second, but here comes Tabson as well with the AWP. That is such a fast headshot onto Device. That's falling to pieces for Astralis, and Big now in the lead have got to be filled with confidence. CT side 3 rounds away. They've only dropped 3 rounds in this half.
They keep getting picked off by the ops on their actual hit, and there's no smoke hump there, obviously, as you guys can see. So I think something's a little bit off. They know they're playing against double ops now, so we should be seeing a little bit more of a faster pace, or when they do go, use some more smokes, cut off the vision.
Yeah, and you know, Sliggy's getting closer and closer to that correct prediction. We all painted this as a non-issue for Astralis, but it's being called into question, and it's only being further cemented. Big looking like they're about to close in on that 14th round. And there's obviously no resistance possible in a round such as this for Astralis as they get devastated by the superior arsenal of their opposition. And here we go. Can Astralis prevent Big from reaching match point? We're going to see one of those faster outside plays, the bursts. Trying to lean off the chaos, lean off the limited vision for the orbs. They decide to smoke things.
It's cool to see too that Big, they don't have one carry right now. Everyone's kind of putting in work, and I think if Big is to become one of those top 3, top 4 teams, that is probably going to be the case. It won't be just Xantares and Tabson having to carry the weight every game. So I think that's cool to see. It's a team victory so far for Big.
Connector smoke has been lined up. Line us up with the lamp, run forward, and off it goes. Well, it's going to be a fast 5 versus 2. There'll be Molotov and counter flashes. Dupree gets one before he's too blind. No commitment to the bomb plant there. The headshot has to come first. 4 versus 3, and look how they charge through the bomb site. taking position, making it harder to retake. Xantares makes his way towards Spindle. Specs looks to play off of the information from his teammates. Device can't be seen by Xantares because of the scope, I think. Just waiting, but I don't know if they know where Xantares is just yet, but they might see the trajectory. Flashbangs. Device has been up there for so long, finally getting taken out. Can't see Apex just yet, looking for more. Magisk will activate, take out Xantares. The smoke's about to dissipate, and maybe Big are about to disappear from the B bomb site, but it will be expensive. One of the snipers is lost, as is the other one. They have been a thorn in the side in multiple rounds, but Smew's got 10k. Xantares with 12. There will be more ops, 2 ops sport immediately. They know how much success they've had from those.
Lovely Krieg work coming in from Astralis. It is just really hard to like the B attacks are really difficult to deal with sometimes. It's like it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic you know you see on this in a map design almost. There's always that bomb site which you can kind of get closer to for free. It's harder to hold on to if you do take it, but finally an opening pick going to Device, and Astralis are going to bully their way forwards onto the B bomb site once again. It might be an auto save for Big. Yeah, they're already saving. It wasn't even planted yet.
Yeah, their loss bonus is in the recycle bin.
I mean, they gambled. They gambled, and they understand what that means. They guess wrong, and they have to just give it up.
Yeah, it's almost better this way because they can hold on to more. Dupree, almost. And that's a Krieg collected, which is not ideal.
Yeah, I'm not.
That could be a difference maker. It's something you have to consider these days.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the position to do it. He's the only one that's really far forward.
Yeah, it is worth the gamble, but it might just suck, especially this late in the game, if that Krieg cuts you down in a choke point.
This type of round is interesting to me because Astralis had to make a decision. They just won a round doing a full exec inner the round before this. Obviously because the other team was double opping. And they obviously just can't keep execing inner the same way. They're not going to find success just repeatedly doing it. So that round, I mean, they got the early pick upper, but you could see they wanted to actually jump down lower dry. And that's what they did. And it's because they had just won a round doing a full exec, so Big is expecting like those smokes to come in, then they can rotate, and they can hear those utility being dropped down, so Astralis kind of changed the pace up, and I think that was super smart.
Will they feel like they have to go towards B again? There's the running right-click flashbang in case anybody's on the ramp. Can be an important one. Tabson's committing deep. How is Xantares going to play this? Normally you'd have one close and one far. Oh, there's the run boost. He's missed a shot though. Tabson's going to deliver the kill with Xantares for help in the other order. That is very unexpected, but a great play. And look at this round from Big. They are storming towards match point versus Astralis. A really strong play from Ivy. Takes bravery to do that. Dupree opening things up. Magic's trying to do the same, but he can't find his face protection. Trying to shoot the feet. He'll get there eventually. Smoking off the choke point. There are rotations to be had. 2 versus 3 now. Astralis can be very dangerous in a round such as this. Ivy has been smoked off. 1 minute to plant the bomb. They'll go for it with no cover for the ladder room position. Smooya spamming, trying to shoot underneath. And now they've got some post-plant position, but they only know where one of the 3 players are for Big.
It's a problem. But they have made this workable somehow. What was it? 2v5, and they find a pick each. Now the bomb's down, and Big are making their way forwards. We're trying to do so. Zipex, how many can he get? He gets the first one. Now it's just about the bait game. Dupree has to give him an assist. They're going to try to force their way up the ladder. That's crazy. Tizian somehow wins the battle, but they still have to worry about Dupree. He's finally announced his position. And, oh, there's the bait. Got to get the kill, but he can't do it. Commits to the peak. 15 for Astralis. Can you believe it? And that was a 2v5.
Watching how Dupree played that post plan, I think, was really, really unique because at some point, no one's going to be flanking ladder, and even if they are, he's going to take the gamble. He just walked up on blue. He had a lot of information, allows Ipix to peek like this because he knows no one can flank him from ladder. So I think it's a great comms and also a great play by Dupree.
Yeah, I love the angles that they had together and risks were taken, and that has to really just completely disrupt your mental stability in trying to focus on winning this game. DAY4 Big Clan. You are 2 versus 5. What on the blazes has happened there? It's a massacre. It's a wildfire on the A bomb site. I've never seen
that happen?
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, what the
And
hell's
just
going
like
on?
that, it's a 5 versus 2 for Astralis. They are done with this game, it seems. Tizzy the last man standing to get traded.
Wow.
Those are 2 shocking rounds in the blink of an eye. Oh my god. These highlights are brought to you by NVIDIA. Astralis have qualified for Arlington, Texas, the finals of ECS Season 8 in an insanely violent fashion. Those last 2 rounds kind of overshadowed the remainder. A 2 versus 5 retake, if you will, on the T side. A 2 versus 5 turnaround, I think, is more appropriate, but it was just absolutely crazy. And then that last run came out from I don't know where. There were flames everywhere, there was fire everywhere. The flamethrowers were out, inspired maybe by that video from Texas, actually. I don't know what just happened.
Big should be. I think they're obviously going to be disappointed, but I think they should also be proud that they're kind of going punch for punch with Astralis, obviously the best team in the world. So they should be super proud. I think how they played their T side overall, they had a really nice comeback, getting 6, and CT side they were shutting it down with the 2 ops. They shouldn't have lost that 14-14 round either. So
even though they should be proud, you know all they're thinking about is we lost a 5 versus 2 to qualify for LAN, more or less.
Yeah.
Never mind what happened the next round. There's not even time to communicate that.
Exactly.
We couldn't even see it before they
the tilt
died.
factor has set in by that time. I think it's definitely rough. Again, also like 2 ops right on a retake. That's no joke, right? It's not easy. All you can do is I'm holding this and I'm holding that.
This kind of reminds me of when Manchester United won the Champions League, when they scored basically 2 goals in overtime, when they were 1-0 down for pretty much the whole match. The way that just played out is that's the only way I can compare it. So indeed, there is the bracket. Big will need to call a therapist after those last 2 rounds. Astralis, kind of from out of nowhere, just stole that at the end. 2 versus 5. Absolutely bananas, and what fashion in which to do it. And here is the prize money at the moment. Again, there's 1 more week to play, but there is prize money to be won each week. And Avangard, NIP, and Astralis, you can see they have all qualified for LAN, and there's 1 more team to do so. It might be one of these teams, it might be a different team, as there will be other teams to join them next week, most likely to try and make it to LAN in the final spot for Europe. That was a hell of a wild ride, and before we go, it's time for the HyperX Factor play of the game. I mean, with some of those rounds, it might be a team effort. Like, yeah, the 2 versus 5 was fantastic.
Yeah, that was insane.
We're not the people who choose, so it's a surprise to us. Let's have a look. It's got to be the 2 versus 5.
There it is.
Absolutely bananas.
And the crazy thing here is that, like, you do think after these 2 kills, it's 2v3 now, but the fact that they're able to smoke up connector, and that's where the rotation's coming, allows them to get into post-plant positions. And this map is very difficult to retake once the T's have moved into position, even if there's just 2 of them.
I still have to say, Dupree's willingness to just walk out T mid and go up on blue, save that 2v5.
Yeah. He had to take a risk there. If he just hides, the CTs get into position, there are trades and so on. So he knew, he has the experience to know what he has to do, and he did it. And that is, that's quite a shocker. I'm still recovering from that, and there may be a few more minutes to recover, but only a few, because we have North American Counter-Strike coming for you almost immediately. We're going to head to a break. When we're back, there's 1 more grand final for the week to come.